plant-based, not as a junk food plant-based person, but as someone that consumes fresh, whole, living foods, plant-based, long term. So it's been over 10 years, and actually this was my second stint um, eating a vegan lifestyle. My first stint was when I got out of high school. So I just came back from the market and look at all of this beautiful food that was not even $50 US. So first of all, if you just look at the visual, there is so much fresh, whole, living plant foods that you can eat. There's more than enough food, so there's no need to feel like you need to cheat because you have treats all the time. You know, I eat treats, and that's really really big. So I have treats all the time, so I do not feel deprived at all. Actually, I feel very happy and I feel very relieved to not have to diet. It's sustainable no matter where I am. As someone that comes from New York City and am now traveling abroad in a tropical environment, I feel very, very confident that I could be placed anywhere on the planet and eat whole, fresh, living foods and be very, very happy. I can be very creative. I feel like I have so many different options. And I got that actually from my grandma. My grandma, but my grandma Lou in particular. Anyone that knows me knows I speak about Grandma Lou all the time. She was such a pleasant person and so simple. So I take the tradition that she passed on to me, and me watching her as a little girl and taking all the different ingredients, each ingredient that I had, and making an effort to be as creative as possible with the fresh ingredients. So this has really made my bags from the market, my bags from the market are pretty heavy, right? My recycle bags, and I encourage you to use recycle bags, are actually pretty heavy. And my produce weighs a lot, but my food bill has progressively gone down because I'm eating fresh foods. And I think it's really important that number one, we have fun in terms of the taste of the food. That's what really helps me feel calm and secure that I'm not dieting at all. And I can be super creative. There's no limit to the options of what I can create. I feel really confident there. That may be an area that a lot of people need help with. And then in terms of a budget, I feel satisfied and it's very, very economical. Once we return to some of those ways of our grandmothers, hey Sean, how are you? Hey Sister Cara, how are you? So I feel really, really confident that no matter where I go on the planet, you can draw me anywhere. If I had $5, I can eat really well. I found things that you can grow anywhere, and that's also been an experience finding out what grows where. But look at all of this food. This is not even $50 US. So I have fresh turmeric, and you can see right over here, and I'm really into the beauty of the food. Sometimes I think we're moving so fast that's one of the reasons why we're not really enjoying the food, and especially if you're in the city or if you live out of a bag. I know I've lived out of a suitcase when I work for the airline industry. We're moving so fast, we're not enjoying the food. Sometimes I don't even think we're tasting it, or we have like a big hit of flavor or artificial flavorings in the mouth, but we're not actually tasting the natural sweetness that's inherent inside of the food. So there's all these things that I'm going to put away today, and these things will supplement what you're growing in your little garden. So I encourage you to grow something in your garden. If you're in the city, join a community garden so you can share and harvest, and most of all, share in the knowledge, right? Because sometimes you might just be getting started and you might not even know what the heck you're doing. You may not know about soil, you may not know how to handle the seeds, or how far apart to plant the seeds, how deep down to plant them. So usually if you have a whole lot of people and everybody knows something, then everybody can share all that information. And I find it really, really pleasant when you have a lot to do in the garden. And don't get it twisted, digging in the garden is a lot of work. I found myself dripping with sweat. So as someone that's worked in the fitness industry, that was really an eye-opener. So feel free to let me know if you have any kinds of questions, because I always get all kinds of questions. So these are gooseberries. So I'm always really excited to see what I can find that's local. So they look almost like grapes. And things like this keep me excited, finding like new herbs or different greens. When I was in New York, around Chinatown, I'm sure Sakara can relate if you're in Chinatown. I love to go to different neighborhoods or different ethnic areas and markets and find out what are the greens. And sometimes no one may even be speaking English to tell you what the green is, or they may not have the equivalent word in English. So these are gooseberries, and these are local, right? So it looks like a small plum. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like a small plum. So these are grown locally, and these taste like a mixture, a cross between a grape and a plum. And they have the seeds. And interestingly, in the States, what often you see happens, and they'll call this heirloom, but really it's just what's grown locally and still has the seeds in it. Many people are starting to get away from them. I don't even know if this next generation will know what local foods look like with seeds, because I think many children are only familiar with going to the market or the supermarket to get food, whether it's a big giant cold refrigerator in a warehouse with things that sit on the shelf for months on end. But I have all of this food, and the things that are local are less expensive. Now, as it's fall in the States, we may be finding more delicious apples. So I don't find as delicious apples here, but it's a trade-off. Because I can find these pineapples, two of these, two whole pineapples that were just picked. And two of these would be cents for two pineapples. Sometimes I can get them three for $2.50. And papayas are grown locally. So everywhere area you go, you can always find something. And then you have the local limes, that I call them the Jamaican limes. You can find these. There's a woman that has a tree. Sometimes she'll give me 10 of them for 50 cents US. And she has several different types of lime trees. And then, as I was saying, I got about 50 bananas for $2 US. So even when I was in the States, I was able to find really good bargains. To me, it's exciting. So everybody has their thing. But the joy and the creativity and it being economical is what really keeps me on this lifestyle. In addition to knowing that I'm putting things in that can go in easily and they can leave out of the system easily. I like to say it doesn't leave waste on your waste. So then the food is, I don't really have to study or worry about food anymore, right? I don't have to worry about dieting. Really just find some movement that you really, really enjoy. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask any questions. I have all of this stuff to put away. And so again, the local things here are obviously plantains. I was really excited. Right outside my window, I had this little sproutling of banana tree, and now it's like super tall. It's, I don't know, maybe almost 9 feet, 10 feet tall, and that's really exciting in less than a year. And I also have a papaya tree, a second papaya tree that's bearing fruit just from the seeds that I ate, and I put them down. So things like that are really exciting. So growing some of your own food, even if it's in a windowsill, it really connects you to the food. So it's not like this impersonal thing that you're just stuffing down your throat with a whole bunch of syrup and sweetener and salt on it. When you really get connected to the point, it's a living plant, it's a living organism. It hasn't been boiled and fried and dyed to death, right? And this is what's going to become our brain, what's going to become our breast and our organs. You know, it makes sense to slow down to really enjoy the food. So I get really excited. I hope you share in the excitement I have around growing food. And the more that you're engaged in the process, you get like a whole nother perspective and a whole nother relationship to food just by growing food. So if you are interested in getting healthy, as a coach, as a trainer, as a professional chef, I highly recommend that everybody grow something. Everybody can grow something, even if it's sprouts and herbs and things. These are some sunflower seeds, some raw sunflower seeds, a small packet that I got here for maybe about $1.50. But it would be really wonderful to grow my own sunflowers and then harvest the seeds right outside. It's like a paradigm shift. So that's pretty exciting, and to see a lot of these things coming out of the ground, it's humbling. It's actually really, really humbling with your food. So also chocho is something that's local that you can get here, but you can't find this in the West Indian markets, Asian/West Indian Caribbean markets in the States. So I have all of this great food for less than $50. So you can do this long term if you have a bit of creativity. So if no one has questions, please feel free to check out the Sister Butterfly and Sister Monkey Learn to Eat Better puppet series that's on Body-Culinary. The channel is over on YouTube. So I'm always very, very conscious of adding free content, because I wish when I was 17 or 18 or even younger that I had YouTube and that I had this information available to me. And if someone else has done so much work, you don't necessarily have to go through breaking the bank, being a really expensive junk food vegetarian. My heaviest weight was as a vegan, and my skin was also really broken out in a lot of acne. So looking back on it now after so many years, I'm sure it was all the junk food I was eating, the high amounts of fat and all the blue corn chips and things. They were transition. But now you don't have to make it take 15, 17 years. But I do recommend you get some kind of basic comprehensive education. There's so much education out there. And if this lifestyle is enjoyable, that's what really helps you long term. And being confident that you're getting, hey, Indy, how are you? Being confident that you're getting enough calcium, enough vitamin D, which is really a hormone that you want to get by getting the sun on your skin. So making sure that you have enough protein. You know, there's no protein deficiencies. I don't know if you've ever seen a protein deficiency in the United States of America, unless somebody's really starving themselves to death. But just really feeling confident that you can eat without dying till you're satiated. So I'm not scared of bananas. I'm not scared of eating avocados. And by the way, there's so many different varieties of avocados here. This kind of thing, you know, gets me excited. So there's so many different types of pineapple, different types of plantain, different types of onions, different types of ginger. These are things that get you really excited, and it's such a paradigm shift from just stuffing ingredients down your face, loaded with salt and syrup and sweetener, with a nice package, but not really being connected to the food. So I encourage you to slow down, enjoy your food, prepare your food, package them in really pretty containers so that you enjoy them. Make sure you carry maybe some chopsticks or some cloth napkins with you. These are things that I've been doing for years, and I share also with my son and my friends. I mean, I get a lot of joy out of it. So please make sure you, if you have any questions, post any questions that you might have. This is so doable and sustainable, so you don't have to worry about food anymore. It is really, really a relief to not have to diet. And yesterday there was posted a ginger tea recipe that you can go online and you can check that video out, and I'll be posting lots of other recipes and sharing some of the gems that my grandma Lou has passed down to me. All right then, so I'll see you soon. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube, so you'll be notified anytime I upload any new videos. And it's so good to see you, India and Sakara and Sean. All right then, take care.